Hey everybody, this is Denny.
And this is James from TeaDB.org, and we are bringing you episode number 22.
22. So, today we have an offering from Tealet. We have a Jushang tea. It's a Oolong tea. It's from the same mountainous area as Dongting. So we're just going to give this a test, see how it tastes.
Yep, and like Denny said, it's a Taiwanese oolong from Nantou County. And yeah, it's from Tealet, who sells all different kinds of teas.
So they were nice enough to send us this tea. So thank you very much. And we have an enormous quantity of oolong here. We tasted this earlier and it was good. And so we figured this is probably just gonna be one long session. So
yep,
I'm gonna go for it. This is
we're at kind of that in between state where you have not enough leaf for two different sessions, but like not the right amount for one session either. So we're just gonna go all out. We don't hold back here at TeaDB.
So we have some slightly under boiling water temperature here. Gonna just do one quick rinse, no frills, just straightforward. And I think we're going to actually let this soak for a second here. The idea being that I like to do this sometimes where I'll do a rinse that I'll let kind of really open the leaves up. And then I'll do, if I'm using a lot of leaf inside of a gaiwan, I'll do shorter steep times. So we'll do something similar like that today. So not too long, but just make sure we really wet the leaves. And already they're expanding dramatically.
That's a very vivid gold color.
Yeah.
Looks pretty clean, which is a good sign.
Definitely. Nice.
Interesting. I'm getting a little bit of the typical high mountains smells, but I'm also getting a fair amount of like sweetness and floralness to it.
Definitely, yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Maybe some like fruit.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so let's do 15 seconds and see how that treats us today. We'll try that out.
Yep. And while you're brewing that, I'll say a little bit about Tealet. So they are a company actually based in Hawaii, which I'd imagine is quite a challenge because shipping from Hawaii is not going to be cheap no matter what. So when I visited their site a month ago or so, and I've checked up on them recently, and Elise has been very, very accommodating in terms of just like letting me know about stuff. And they have pu'er tea, they have Indian teas, they have Taiwanese oolongs, they have Japanese black teas, so a lot of different teas. So go ahead and check out their site, see if anything interests you. Last I checked, they offered very small quantities, so 15 grams of leaf. So yeah, and from definitely a variety of growers.
So this is actually looking really beautiful off of its first steeping.
It's kind of a citrus orange.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's give it a go, see what it is. So I think 15 seconds for this much leaf is about right, actually.
I agree.
It's really full-bodied.
Not getting a ton of bitterness, but this is actually quite nice. It's got a lot of flavors going on, actually. It's very, very flavorful with this brewing method. A little bit of fruitiness, actually quite a bit of fruitiness.
More than, I'd say, like, more fruitiness and, like, passion fruits, kind of exotic tropical fruits than I would say.
Especially on the front.
Yeah. Versus something where maybe a high mountain oolong would be a little bit more of like a crisp, creamy taste, have a little bit more complexity in body, or longevity, I'd say, but this is, for the first steeping, has a nice body, actually.
Yeah, I agree. And one way to get a lot of body would be to use a lot of leaf, which is exactly what we're doing. And the fact that we're getting a lot of body out of the first steeping says a lot about it, considering that this is a rolled oolong, and you'd expect to kind of get that amount of body, maybe the most body in the third steeping, something like that.
Yeah, I'm getting peaches out of this.
Yeah, I think so.
Plums,
It's definitely
like stone fruit.
Yeah, I would say peaches. Yeah, and a little bit sweet. Definitely a little fruity.
So I'm actually going to bring this down to 10 seconds through this steep time.
That makes sense to me. And our guy one is already almost overflowing with leaf.
Yeah. So the reason I'm doing that is that the guy one itself is warmer. The leaves have opened up more. So both those factors are going to influence the potency.
And you can see the color, like Denny said, is probably more vivid than the previous steeping. Similar, but a little bit more vivid.
Still really beautiful, really nice. How would you pair this with an activity or food or not food? When would you drink this? How do you think this would go as a tea brewing session?
I think for me this would be kind of like a nice after lunch oolong. It's got a nice body, a nice full flavor to it too. So I wouldn't be too concerned as I would in like a green tea with like doing it strictly by itself to preserve like the high notes and stuff. But it's a pretty well balanced tea too.
Yeah,
pretty strong.
Astute observation. I think that for me, I know that after I eat food, my palate's a little bit all over the place, and I try not to drink light teas like a white tea or a high mountain oolong tea. Instead, I would have something more like a black tea. Something like this would cut well into that palate, or something even like a pu'er tea. Getting more of that roasted note now, actually.
Yeah, kind of like roasted fruitiness right now is what I'm picking up on.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Pretty straightforward flavor profile, actually. Not as much complexity, like you're saying, as like maybe a super high mountain like Da Yuling, and doesn't have that creamy taste either. So
it's still good and not.
Yeah, quite good. This is a nice change up in kind of like Taiwanese lineups, I would say.
Yeah, this is absolutely more floral. More fruity, full-bodied. The complexity of the tea taste itself doesn't change very much, but really quite tasty actually.
Yeah, I would actually say this might be the most similar to the Four Seasons oolong we had way back when. And I think this is actually a better tea than that one from Tea from Taiwan. This is also more expensive. But both those teas are Taiwanese teas, and both of them have kind of that fruity taste.
Almost, it reminds me almost of Oriental Beauty, actually, in sort of the roasted sweetness.
Interesting.
But a little different, maybe a little bit texturally a little bit thinner.
Yeah.
But kind of a comparable taste profile, I think.
Yeah, that's interesting. I would say it doesn't quite have the same sweetness as Oriental Beauty, at least good Oriental Beauty, which is most of what we drink. But nevertheless, that's a really interesting comparison. I'd say it has a similar type of sweetness. Yeah.
Maybe something fruity, but maybe Oriental Beauty, I think, has this sort of like rich, almost cinnamon spiciness to it to some degree, and that's the thing from the roast. This is a little bit less. It looks like to me a little bit less roasted. Nice and green still, very verdant.
Yep, I would say it'd be really interesting to do this. Yeah. The roast seems to be kind of all over the place on this tea, but it'd be really interesting to do a side by side with this Oriental Beauty and Gui Fei Mei Ren, the kind of Oriental Beauty-ish. But not quite there. It is rolled too.
Right.
And that one also has like that touch of sweetness.
Interesting. Cool. Well, I think this has been like a really enjoyable tea. Thank you, Tealet, very much for sending it to us.
Thank you, Elise.
It's been really delicious. Definitely recommended for an afternoon tea, just a casual drink. Really great.
Totally. I very much enjoyed this tea.
Cool. Well, if people want to learn more about this tea and other tea,
check us out at TeaDB.org. We have a lot of great information. We've been reviewing Taiwanese oolongs like crazy, and so we probably have the most on that specific genre of tea, so please check us out. We also have a number of articles on those types of oolongs. And check out Tealet.
Yeah, Tealet, TeaLet.com.
Yep.
They're great, and thanks again, Elise, and you guys just for helping us out, and until next time.
Yep, thanks for watching, guys.
See you.